So that was weird. The damn camera wouldn't focus. Maybe it's focused now. Who knows? Man, I wanted to... Hey, welcome. Strangers, friends, what's up? I want to talk a second about momentum, which is, I think, one of the least talked about things, because momentum already assumes that you're doing shit right. You're already moving in a positive direction. You're already getting a lot of things working. And for many people, their hardest thing is getting shit going in a good direction, right? Momentum is after you've done that. But I'm talking about it personally. So if you've been here on the channel, something you know about is I've been recently combining taking walks with taking different guitars with me and working on guitar problems, music problems, theory problems while I'm taking these walks. And now, after a few weeks now, this is just like daily life, where I know I'm gonna get 30 minutes to an hour just walking, which is good for me and my mind and my body, and I'm working on problems. And then you get these funny things that happen. So I'm walking away from the car. I go to a parking deck. That's another hack. Don't go to a dangerous parking deck, but go to a parking deck, because now you know it's like, you know, the sun's not going to beat down on you. Like, you don't have to worry about the rain and shit. But you know, if you walk far away from your car, you know, there's a couple times where this has happened where I'm like, okay, I'm done. And I'm like, well, shit, you know, it's an 8-minute walk back to the car. I might as well play another 8 minutes while I'm on the way back to the car. So I'm saying, like, if you can build some momentum behind your changes to where now you've put in the initial energy to change some behaviors, you know, now you just sustain it. Just don't fuck it up. You already done the hard part, which is making something happen, even if it's small. You made it happen. Now, just don't fucking take a break. Don't celebrate and take... You can celebrate, just don't take a break. Just keep that shit going, and it just builds and it builds and it builds. And I've had some great... nothing I want to explain here, because I think it's probably a little too crazy to explain here. But I've had some, like, there's a couple of musical problems I've been dealing with for, I don't know, man, 15 years? And I had some major breakthroughs in this last like 2 weeks. And I think that's just from having, you know, 30, 40 hours of being isolated, just walking with my instrument and being like, oh shit, I get how this works now. So anyways, it's got nothing superficially to do with beatboxing, but it has something to do with fucking everything. Therefore, it must have something to do with beatboxing. I've only heard one video by Shogo. I think it's Like Falling Stars. Blown away. Dude is fucking killer. Now I found some killers though, right? Improver, Shogo, Dillip, Dilo, Trung Bao. I just did some of his. I'm starting to find the people that I resonate with. It's exciting, man. I went back to 2018 because, I mean, it's cool to watch people transition through time. Let's go.
You got 4 minutes on Shogo. I say the san, you say the ni and the ichi. San!
San il ichi. Is that Korean and Chinese? No, it's Japanese. Ichi. Whew, almost got me.
Maybe you're lying. I feel like dying.
I love that deadpan. It's like, I feel like he's just dancing around it. And I don't know, maybe it's not going to go somewhere crazy, but I feel like he's teasing.
Babe, maybe you're lying. Pain, it's here at all times. Babe, you look so fine. I feel like dying.
What do y'all call that? Ba-doo, 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 ba-doo. Okay, let's talk about something melodically that's going on, because a lot of times when you're analyzing how music works, if you will take a second to just look at the structure of the melody, you can steal it. So he's going up this, sounds like an arpeggio, could have a filler note. I'm not singing the same notes, right? But when he did this arpeggio up, he's got some beats in there, arpeggio up, then he repeats notes that are not as high as the top note. It's a little lower. And then he repeats notes a little lower, and that's bringing him back down to the bottom. So he's like da 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 da. You see, he's making like a shape. He's making a horseshoe shape with the notes. He's going up on the arpeggio. He's repeating some notes to get back down, and he's going back up, and it gives a continuity to the notes, even though there's only one person present.
Babe. Pain. Babe.
And now there's nothing high, right? He's got the bass going, and then when he's speaking, he's also speaking in a low register. I don't know, baritone? So now there's nothing high going on. Which now we're having two sections that are contrasting sections, not just in the rhythm, but they're contrasting on here these arpeggios, the one up high. Now there's nothing high going on. So there's actually like a lot of contrast taking place.
I feel like dying. I feel like I feel like
Hell yeah, dude. Now he's got some speed. How long did he make it? 3 minutes in, 75% of the way through the performance, and he's only just now throwing some speed in.
I feel like
Actually, that thing where he went da 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 do bop, it went up really high. Actually, there's a science behind that. That if you're going to approach a really high note, it's actually easier. I'm not a vocal coach, but I did have to do like fucking, I don't even remember, dude. Fucking 5 years of voice in music school. A fucking shitload. I think 5 years. Whatever. A lot of years. And when I was in it, I was like, why the fuck am I not playing guitar? But my mentor, he said, you're going to learn some shit with those vocal coaches you're not going to learn with guitarists. This is one of those. That when you're singing, it actually, when he is singing those notes, right? That's how you make fucking notes. If you sing a note and then go down and bounce off the bottom note, it's much easier to hit the top note if you sing down here descend, it doesn't matter, half step, whole step, whatever. But you descend and then bounce off. So we have 3 notes, here, lower, way up high. Much easier than ascending 3 notes. Now ascending 3 notes happens all the time, but those are like more professional singers, like opera singers and shit. If you just want to make it as easy as possible, boom, boom, boom. Oh, trumpet, what's up? Yeah. Dude, that is always me. I'm always like talking like 4 seconds before the fucking video ends. Because I assume that the whole time is taken up. Anything going on here? No. Okay. If you want to say what I just said, that might be easier to follow. I mean, I don't think it's unclear, but if you want to say it with less words, you could say descend by step, which could be half step, whole step, whatever. Descend by step and then ascend with a leap. A leap is a bigger interval, like at least like a, in my book, you're ascending by at least a third. So it could be a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or whatever. And if you don't know what those terms mean, just count the letters. Count your starting letter and your ending letter. So if you're going from C up to E, that's C, D, E, it's some type of third. Or if you're going from C up to G, C, D, E, F, G, some type of fifth. Those are all leaps. If the letters are neighbors, they're steps. So if we go C up to D, that's a step. We're stepping up. Or C down to B, that's a step. We're stepping down. So for example, you could go C down to B, that's a step, then jump to G. And in case you're keeping track at home, you're probably outlining a C major 7 chord, because 3 of those notes are 3 of the 4 notes of the C major 7 chord, which would be C, E, G, and B. Anyways, yeah. I'm glad that he was awesome in 2018, and he's also awesome now, which means now I can really take some freedom picking tracks, because he's probably just a guy who makes a lot of stuff that I'm really going to love. I think we talked about enough did we cover enough like in the middle of the video? I think so. I will say, okay, something I didn't say. When I said he went 75% of the video before doing something fast, I didn't want to cut the video again because I pause a lot. What's up, cat? Get up here. Say what's up to the beatboxers. Oh, that's right. You don't talk. Well, you do, but you don't really speak English. Well, that's what I mean. Like, you talk, but not a lot. Okay, go over there. What I was going to say is, even though he went 70%-ish, 75, 65, somewhere in there, 65 to 75%, let's call it 70% plus or minus 5. Before he did speed, what I wanted to also say is, out of all of these videos I've been watching recently, his speed is the least amount of speed. I would say his speed is also like 60%, half as fast. I think his fastest section was maybe half as fast as the fastest stuff I've been hearing, which just shows different ways to make a composition. These are just compositional I mean, I don't know the guy, right? And I don't know if he can be really fast or not. I'm going to assume he can be pretty damn fast. So that's a compositional choice to do that. You know, you have to talk to that dude. Ask him questions like, hey man, why did you choose not to do something fast? Because I'm sure if he can do shit really fast, then he chose not to. And the more talented performers and composers are, it will blow your mind what they have thought about in their composition. They oftentimes, like at the highest levels, they're analyzing every single fractional second. And I say fractional second, right? Because if you're at 60 beats a minute, you're playing 16th notes, that's 4 beats a second. And they're actually thinking about, what am I doing with this 1/4 of a second? How does it contribute to the entire whole? Anyways, that's more under composition, I guess. You gotta think about how crazy this shit is too. We're used to this, right? Like these beatboxers make badass shit and they just do it. But way back in the day, that's not how it worked, right? Like way back in the day, one person would come up with amazing ideas and someone else would execute it, right? Like take any famous composer you could think of, Beethoven, Mozart, Bach, Rachmaninoff. Okay, sure. You know, Bach had solo pieces and Mozart had piano concertos and shit where he showed off. But oftentimes these guys are writing for like many dozens of instruments. And they're not going to be the person executing their ideas. They have to let someone else do that. And so they have to figure out how that other instrument works in order to write something that's captivating on that instrument. So like we take it for granted that these guys create the composition and they perform the composition. So much shit going on. So many different levels of music being encapsulated. So right here, right? Composer, and they're the player, but since they're in front of the crowd, they're also a performer. That's a lot of shit to have to take care of, man. I guess that's why it's fucking hard. I'm out of here. 3, 2, 1. Let's get the fuck out.